Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. For today's recipe, we're making chocolate flavor horchata. The main ingredient in horchata is rice. Therefore, we're going to need 1.5 cups of white rice. When making horchata, I like to use the generic brand rice, but you can use any brand of rice that you prefer. Add 1.5 cups of rice to a large measuring cup or a container of your choice. Add 2 sticks of cinnamon and about 2 cups of hot water, or enough water to where the rice is completely submerged in the water. Cover it and allow the rice to soak for about 4 to 5 hours before continuing with the recipe. You can also plan ahead by soaking the rice overnight in the refrigerator. Since we're making chocolate flavor horchata, we're also going to need chocolate. I'm going to use Chocolate Abuelita, but you can use any other brand that you prefer. You can also use Chocolate Abuelita that comes in the powdered form, or you can also use cocoa. For sweetener, we're going to need half a can to 1 can of condensed milk. We also need 1 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. You can also substitute the condensed milk with the sweetener of your choice. I'm going to substitute the condensed milk with half a cup of sugar. The rice has been soaking for a little bit over 5 hours. Now it's time to prepare the horchata. Transfer the rice, the cinnamon, and the water that we soaked the rice in into the blender. When preparing horchata, I normally don't rinse the rice before soaking it. Many people do prefer to rinse it first. You can choose to rinse it or not. It's completely up to you. Add the 1 disc of Chocolate Abuelita and the 1 can of evaporated milk. The evaporated milk can also be substituted for regular whole milk or a milk of your choice. Add the half a cup of sugar or the condensed milk. I didn't catch it in the video, but I also added 1 teaspoon of vanilla for extra flavor. Depending on the blender that you have, blend on high for a good 1 to 2 minutes or until everything is well broken down and it's nice and smooth. The pitcher I own has a very small opening on the top, therefore I'm going to strain the horchata into this bowl first before transferring it into the pitcher. When straining the horchata, you'll want to use a strainer with a fine mesh. If you don't own one with the fine mesh, you can layer the strainer with a couple layers of cheesecloth for better results. Pour the rice water directly into the strainer. To help the rice water go through the strainer a little bit faster, give the strainer a few good taps, or using a spoon or a spatula, move it around until all the water has gone through the strainer and all you have left is the rice and the cinnamon residue. To get the remainder of the residue that remains in the blender, add 2 cups of water to the blender, cover it and give it a good shake and pour it directly over the rice residue. This is going to rinse off the remainder of the chocolate that remains in the rice residue. Pour the remainder of the water over the rice residue and discard of the residue. We used a total of 6 cups of water and the 1 can of evaporated milk. That will give us a total of 5 to 6 servings depending on the size of glasses that you use. Before we transfer the horchata into the pitcher, I'm going to give it a good stir. I'm also going to give it a taste test to see if it needs additional sweetener. Or if it's too sweet, you can add additional milk or water until it reaches your level of sweetness. I prepared this recipe using the condensed milk and the sugar. I personally prefer to use the sugar because it gives it a more refreshing, lighter taste. But if you prefer yours more on the creamy side, I recommend you use the condensed milk and substitute the water for regular milk. Serve it over ice and sprinkle with a little bit of cinnamon or powdered Chocolate Abuelita, and enjoy! If you enjoyed this video, leave me a little heart. Share with your friends and family so they don't miss out on future recipes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on our next video with a different recipe.